Let go. No Kutt.
Is a no cut zone, put the city on. They got me in my zone. The streets can't live long.
Becoming an entrepreneur when it comes to cars. It's the trippiest way ever. I started working for somebody when I first got out of prison. When I told you I moved to North Carolina, this guy had a small auto repair shop where he worked on nothing but BMWs. And he gave me a shot from prison. My sister knew him. They had foreign cars. They was taking to a shop. He was like, shit, you can get out here and see if this is what you want to do. I already decided to come to Charlotte. I felt like Columbia was my last option. I was going to at least give something a try.
Right.
If that shit, I'd done it before, and the hold on Columbia was so strong to me. When I got out of prison for the Army shit, there was a 5-year ban before I went back to prison for my charge or whatever. And so during that 5 years, I just was a street motherfucker, right? I mean, I worked for the city of Columbia for a little while, but was gangbanging on that shit. Worked with guns on me. Like it was the craziest shit in the world, bro. Get off at 3 o'clock and go right with my brothers and just chill all day gangbanging. I just was one of the ones that had a job, you know what I mean? Yeah. Always had my own shit, always had an apartment, always, that was my mind frame. I just understood that part. Even though going through it, you know, when you get your first apartment, you don't know how to pay bills, you end up running that in the hole. The second time you get something, you get better and better with life. I just understood that.
As you grow.
Yeah, now you knowing bills versus some bullshit, like it's better to have roof on, but you get that with life. You don't just know that shit.
Right.
Only way you just know that shit if you came from a structured family when you just saw that shit day in, day out, and that was the proper step.
Right.
Just living raw life, you gonna go through shit, and we all know it. All of us know it for sure. You know what I mean? Life is crazy. You gotta be cut for it to make it through that way.
So how hard was the crossover?
So the crossover was more easy than hard. Like a lot of people think I just came home from prison and just like changed. Location was the first thing. Me separate my whole self. When I first got out though, the first 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years, I came to Columbia every single weekend. I would get off work at Friday, I would get my motherfucking truck, get some clothes, and ride to Columbia and stay the whole weekend and leave like Monday morning for the first 3. I would not give Charlotte a try.
I don't think I would do that.
You know what I mean? I would not give Charlotte a try, man. And I ended up getting in a situation I was all good with, like, prison make you a little tougher than what you was, however you went to prison.
Right.
So when it came to just like pure fighting, that shit was, I feel like you could just have a fight and it ain't really not. I'm not a person that hold grudges anyway. Right. Either we can get the shit out the way and then that's that. So a fight is a fight, win, lose, or draw in my mind. So as long as it was that, I felt like I still was in range. Because I'm just used to other shit, like going straight. Like my mind frame is with my opponent, any enemy that I got is to destroy you any kind of way I can. Right. It ain't just I'm gonna try to, you know what I mean? I feel like it came to this point, so one of us got to go. That was my mind frame. So as long as it was just regular like fight type shit, I felt like I still was in range. And then one of them got out of bounds to where it went to some other shit, and that really kind of like, all right, it's gonna be this or this. Yeah. I stayed from down here for a while and got used to Charlotte, just giving it a chance. And then I end up clicking on the social life, but it was already business from off the top from Columbia. I mean, you know what I'm saying, from moving there.
Right.
You're able to thrive better there.
We just don't understand. Anybody from South Carolina, man, you got so much shit in you don't know. The environment we in make us feel suppressed. Anybody I know who left and went anywhere, it's like a 95% chance they living a great fucking life, bro. Yeah. I swear. And you got some that went somewhere and went back, and they back in the same motherfucking trap. And he was like, damn, bro, if you would have held on a little longer.
Once you get out,
once you get out, this motherfucker, I'm telling you, this is why it's like a spell really over this place that make you just, soon as you get out there, the longer you stay away, the more you can see it, and it be fucked up, because it's kind of fucked up, because you can see why people got the mentality they got, and what it's still actively doing, and you can't do really nothing to save them. You know what I'm saying? They gotta leave.
They call it crabs in the bucket.
You go anywhere, New York, Houston, fucking Puerto Rico, the shit that you was dealing with, that you subliminally learned all your life, you gonna fucking break free.
Man, I know it's youngsters, it's OGs in the hood right now that you've been to places overseas, I've been to places overseas. They'll never see.
Yeah.
They'll never see, because
that's crazy,
at
man.
the same time as they growing up and building, nobody's giving them the game or the aspect. Exactly. So they end up fucking up their record.
Yeah,
they fuck up their
record.
record.
Fuck that record, yeah.
Because they can't see past their environment.
Yeah, it's a small mind frame.
You are exactly right on that, because you know that shit be trippy. Like it all fall under my theory of stars, man. Shit is stars, because it's just certain people go to Jamaica. You got some people that's 60 years old, never went on a vacation in their life. don't know what Jamaica, and they just see that shit on TV and understand it. But it's difference between seeing something on TV and actually feeling it.
Right.
You know what I mean? The more you travel, the more that shit open your mind, your brain up to more shit in life. And the type of person that you are is gonna make you hustle harder, work harder, whatever, because you're gonna get used to doing that shit. It costs to travel, but once you start doing it, everybody makes so much.
It's doable. It's affordable. That's
definitely
another reason
affordable.
why I like social media, because we are in the age of knowledge where it's like they're letting you know, hey, you can go to this island over here for just this much. Here, book the ticket here. This is how much it costs. You can do this.
Half an ounce. All that stuff.
But you gotta just sacrifice. So if a motherfucker that really smoke weed every day, if you sacrifice what you spent, I don't care if your homeboy was the weed man, you buying from a plug, whatever. If you sacrifice what you spent for 3 months, you definitely can go on a vacation. And you don't understand it.
Vegas.
Black people don't understand
Miami.
all the money that we spend on the craziest shit, that if you sacrificed and just held on just a little bit, you could change your whole mind frame. Once your mind frame change, shit, everything else gonna change.
And
so
you just talking about like Miami, Vegas, but like it goes even further than that
Aruba.
to like
Jamaica.
out overseas.
Jamaica,
and
Dubai,
you think
shit
it's like
that.
crazy to go. You think it's like super expensive, but it's really not.
Nah, it's really not. But and the mind frame that you're gonna come back with is gonna be priceless.
Hawaii.
Exactly. Hawaii. The experience itself being like, especially if you submerge yourself within the
Work here no more. He start telling me numbers. Man, I'm tired of that. He's saying the same shit. I'm tired of this motherfucker here. He ain't been paying me in months. This shop is open. The shop, he had 2 shops that he built on this same ground. It was a big one and a little one. The big one, the dude had bought his own shit, so it was empty. Yeah. So now he ain't getting no rent from this shop. This nigga barely paying him. He ain't making no money. He never talked to me about money. He came to me. He was like, so you and your mom trying to get a shop, man? I'll let you get the big shop for $7,000, $3,500 to get in, $3,500 a month. At this time, I probably got $1,500 to my name, right? But the number 7 sounded like godly. It was like that shit was gonna be so easy for me. I already had 10 different ways how I was gonna get that money to get in there.
Right.
So now I got one green light. He telling me we can get this building for this amount.
Right.
I went right back. Dude was taking long to pay me my money. He was trying to prolong. He talking to customers and shit. This is how I got the time for all the people to be talking to me. So when I go back, I got my plan already in motion. So I'm like, the white dude who he had working in the office, he was the main one talking the most shit, and I knew he knew the office shit. So I'm like, check this out. If I get this shop next door, would you have enough nuts to come work for me? He like, hell yeah, fuck this motherfucker, boom, 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 yada, yada, yada. So now I got somebody that's gonna come and run the office, right? So now I need a mechanic. The mechanic motherfuckers was talking to shit, but even still, it was one mechanic that was actually working with me with this dude that he was Aquarius too. And we ended up getting close. Right. He moved back to New Jersey because he couldn't take dude shit. Like everybody get around this man can't fuck with him but me, because the shit he doing is commercial shit. I'm used to hood street shit, and it ain't ever coming that kind of energy, so I could deal with it all. I'm coming from a different mind frame than everybody else. Right. So the dude moved back he was a master mechanic, BMW. He moved back to New Jersey. He working at a dealership, but we kept in contact over the years. So now I got the building. I got the white boy saying he's coming. I just need to get a mechanic. I call him. I'm like, this all within 20 minutes, no lie. This is how my shit built, bro. I'm leaving out of the office for him. It's all dying. Yeah. Leave out the office for him with the number 7,000. Talk to the white boy. White boy saying, fuck him, I'm gonna come with you and shit. Now I get my money from dude. He end up coming. I get on the phone. Well, I'm wired to my mom's house because I need the 7,000. Right. He ended up answering first ring. I ain't talked to him in 2 months. First ring, he answered. He had a dealership somewhere, bullshit. I'm like, look, check this. If I could figure out a way to get this motherfucking shop, you know what I'm saying, and give you some money to get down this motherfucker, will you just say fucking and come down here? He like, hell yeah. Off the top, bro, I ain't talking to him 2 months. So now I got the spot, the amount of money I need, the white boy that's gonna run it. I just need the bread. Yeah. I pull up to my mom's crib and shit. I walk in the door. She's sitting on the couch reading the newspaper. She got glasses on. So she looking over her face like, wait, you know your mom like the back of your hand. Soon as I walk in the door, before I said a word, she said, nope, I ain't got no money. Like she already knew. I'm like, man, lady, listen. And then I just told her exactly what I told y'all. What made the shit even sweeter, the white boy left from work because this around 4 o'clock. He got off. He met me around the corner. He took some of the man paperwork from taxes of what he made the year before. That shit was like $450,000. The small shop made. So now my mama see the numbers. Yeah. So she like, shit, hell yeah. Boom, boom, boom. She seen the numbers. She thinking we could skip steps, thinking that shit just gonna jump just because this is what the man was making, not understanding. That man had that business for 4.5 years. I learned that with that. So she thinking we throw some bread at this shit, we got the workers, it's automatically gonna snap. That shit went exactly nothing like that. You know what I mean? Now that the foundation got built, the white boy ended up coming over, dude ended up moving out, we got the shit going. The white dude who running the office and the mechanic who I had from New Jersey never knew each other.
Right.
Never knew each other until they came. I made the whole shit manifest. Paid for dude to come down here. I got the whole plan together, the way I just told y'all. I gave my apartment up. I had an apartment and shit. I was like, I was gonna move back in with my mom because dude needed somewhere to stay. So you could just have that's how bad I wanted this fucking business to work. Get you my whole crib. I'm gonna move back in with my mom's because once we get this shit, this nigga making 400-something thousand. I'm thinking the same way too. Right. Like with that much bread, you could do this, that, and the third. Yada yada yada. We just gotta work hard and do it. Within a week, he moved from my crib without having to pay no bills, fully furnished, everything straight, to with the white dude. Now they done clicked up and they came up with a plan. Within the first 30 days, after all the shit that I told y'all, the whole plan blew up. Dang. White boys stole the money from us. They kept all the money that we was making. We made $21,000 the first month. Man. They kept the money, got with the landlord to get the building that the dude just moved out of, and just cut us out with our own money, bro. Wow. The craziest shit in the world. Wow. Again, old me would have been, it was times that I was literally sitting in the office with like a tear coming down. Like I'm gonna kill them. I'm gonna kill these motherfuckers. And every time I got to that point, the universe would bring some sort of car or some sort of came through to make, all right, I'm gonna kill these motherfuckers next week. Right. And then it just got to the point to where within 3 months, within 3 months, they whole business collapsed, and I'm 7.5 years. I'm still here.
All right.
Oh, man, right? You know, it's the trippiest shit. The old man who owned it.
How many years you said? How many?
7.5. August 1st of 2014 is when we started.
That's that number.
Within 3
number of completion. That's
crazy, man. It's 7.
Think about it. It went down in 3 months.
It ended up going. You see, in 3 months, bro. I watched them. Watch them go down. They thought it was easier than what it was. Right. You know what I'm saying? Again, they go back to that shit take guts and real life and luck and all kind of shit. It take a mission. It's like rappers. Only certain ones get through. Right. But everybody could be trying that shit. They end up going down to the landlord again. He ain't give a fuck about nothing but that rent being paid.
Right. That's it.
So I can't be mad at him the way he cut through this. Right. They start planning their exit away within 30 days. So they start making it like it wasn't no cars coming. And I'm there with them all day. Right. You know what I'm saying? But they making it seem like, man, yo, this shit ain't gonna pay the bills. We gotta quit, yada, yada, yada. The whole time they taking our money and setting the shit up to get to their shit. So they say, yo, we ain't coming in Friday because I just drive too far and the mechanic motherfucker, they live together now. They got their whole plan. This is it. They supposed to sign September 1st. This like August 31st, August 30th. My mom like, man, you know what, motherfucker, you know how to do oil changes and brakes and shit. Let's go to the shop anyway. Right. We opening that shit. Yeah, right. We go. We was never on the computer that it was on. We was not checking behind these motherfuckers at all, bro. Damn. But it's the first month. You know what I'm saying? Only thing
so
they
how
did.
How did you figure it out?
We went into the office. I went there to start sweeping the shop up. It ain't really shit in there. We only been in there in a month. And my mom going to office. This is the first time she ever got on the computer that the white boy on every day. Right. Soon as she opened it, she say my name. Again, the way she say it, I know it's some shit. Right. I get to my office part, and I stand there and look at the computer. She not even looking at the computer. She looking at me. So she like, look, you know what I'm saying? I'm reading the computer, and it's the lease that they made for the next day. In my mind, my whole shit over. I put all this shit together. You know what I'm saying? Like, God, this my only shot at ever being rich or this, that, and the third. And these motherfucking punk ass motherfuckers playing with me, bro. Real life playing with me when I put it all on the table. You know what I mean? And I called him. And now the white boy is supposed to live 45 minutes away. He got there in like 20. He throwing it on the mechanic. Oh no, you know, he boom, 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 and yada, 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 this, that, and the third. So I call him like, man, come get your shit out of here. He pulls up. He takes the key. He already got the keys to the next building. I pushed his toolbox and everything out, right? Yeah. He already got the keys. He jumps out of the car and just goes straight to the other building to unlock it. It's official. Wow. So I'm like, oh shit, like this shit being planned, but it's crazy how it came out, how it played by. We just going to the shop when they wasn't there and my mom cutting that computer on for the first time. He hadn't got so lazy with it. He just left that shit in draft, bro. He just left that shit like in, like up. You know what I'm saying? That was a signed deal.
Cause you ain't never go through his computer.
Never touched the computer. I ain't even understand how the shit was working. We paying him $1,000 a week. We paying a mechanic $1,250 a week salary without no business, just starting off. So we was losing from the very. That was one of the things.
You paying them in, they stealing money.
You see what I'm saying? So between them two, they together, they already made $11,000 from the first 2-3 weeks or the first 3-4 weeks putting their shit together. You know what I mean? So they already had the money. If this motherfucker only wanted this amount for that shit, they already had that shit worked out. They had a whole lease. So anyway, end up firing all of them, and well, not firing them, they really left type shit.
Right.
And I'm in this motherfucker now. I already been fucking with cars 2.5 years. I know a little bit of shit, but we got all the shit. The whole shop, everything, all the tools, because they was trying to run her from the beginning. Anything that they said she needed, she bought. Right. $50,000 computers, $20,000 worth of like shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So we got all this shit, but now we don't got no mechanic, nobody work this motherfucker. The same shit I was paying this man $1,000 a fucking week to do. I end up learning that shit in 2 days, and I've been running that shit ever since, bro.
2 days.
Everybody who worked for me, all of my secretaries or anybody that ever worked in my office, I taught them everything that they know. The shit was so easy, bro. Wow. But just not knowing, thinking, oh, this white boy used to work for Goodyear for all these years. He went to college and yada, yada, yada the whole time. That shit was fucking simple as, you know what I mean?
That
I could teach them.
But if you don't know, you don't know.
When I started my business, I lost out on 12 grand because it's not what you know.
Yeah.
You're in a different atmosphere. You're starting something new, you learning it.
Yeah.
You feel me? So what you built for 7.5 years, that took you 2 days to learn.
Man, at the trippy, just the computer part.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now I don't got a mechanic. Being around on that same spot for now it's 3 years at this time. Always been a spunky motherfucker. Even when people was coming to dude shop, I'm the one that's talking to all the customers and yada, yada, yada. I'm just an Aquarius. I'm a people person, you know what I'm saying? So they know me. So one of the dudes from New York came to me. He was like, man, I heard what happened. The shit fucked up. Yada, 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 this, that, and the third. He like, man, I got this mechanic, man. He a slick motherfucker, man. He yada, yada. And to this day, he's still a real OG to me because he wouldn't put his stamp on. I respect that shit. He's super solid. Like one of them old school he like, I ain't putting my stamp on this nigga, but it's better than what you got.
Right.
I end up hiring this motherfucking mechanic from Chicago, and this nigga here, he went to my oldest mechanic, and I done fired him 10 times. So we done went through all that type shit. I felt that same shit to him. You know what I'm saying? He helped me through so much shit, and I done so much shit for him, but it's oil and vinegar. This motherfucker is original, bro. Like, I done met every kind of person you could think of I done met before in some sort of shape or fashion, but he different. Like some shit I can't even. I don't think it's another one of him, bro.
So what are you firing him for?
All type, because he gotta feel like he gotta do shit his way, you know. And it ain't never like disrespectful or fuck that I'm doing it my way. He just like gonna do that shit his way, and you gonna deal with it or you ain't. You know what I'm saying?
It's just him. It's like a brother or sister. Yeah,
10 different times. So I go 2-3 months, and then that work for how you gonna pick up and put my back to the wall and shit. I'm like, man, fuck. And every time I hit him, he know I'm gonna pay him, so he gonna pull up every time. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we went for the longest. But it got to the point to where my main mechanic, who like family to me, can't work with him. He ain't nowhere as productive as he is when he there. So I had to make that executive decision to cut that shit off to make sure that he was good in order to the company keep going. And that's what I had to do. You know what I mean?
Great decision looking from this standpoint.
Hell yeah. Like, you know, we end up doing that. You know what I mean? But shit is definitely hard to do, but it can be done, bro.
Oh yeah, man. Most definitely, man. I mean, building something from the ground up, only those who've done it can really understand it.
Yeah.
And the trials and tribulations that you got to go through just to get to a point where it makes it look like you living a little, you shining a little. Most motherfuckers don't know what came with that.
And that's the thing. Like, that shit always boils down to, like, even if you trying to make it seem like you do got it, like, that's the worst thing that you could do, because you waste so much energy and time in faking.
Right.
When you can apply that shit into that, faking until you make it shit is the lamest shit in the world, man. Only way that might happen for you if you a good rapper, because you might fuck around and hit. But regular life, that should have never happened. You would just be using all that energy to fake, bro. When you could just put that shit to one thing and end up getting something out of it, man. And that's what just people just got to learn, like. Shit come from impure thoughts, though. That shit just how you fucked up.
Oh yeah, I seen you expose a couple people on the web who always be faking shit and you get on their head. That shit's so funny to me, because I know half of these motherfuckers. I know a lot of these motherfuckers be jokes around here and saying all kind of shit, capping. Big cap.
PPP loan.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But the thing,
you can tell a scammer when you see a scammer.
The thing about it is that I don't be trying to go against. I don't be wanting to make it seem like a motherfucker think I'm so high and mighty that I could just say this. I say that shit because it's fucked up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or it's funny and it's some sort of joke type deal, but it's true, bro. It's all true. It ain't me slandering you. It ain't me making some shit up. I don't even have to do that shit with any type of altercation or anything that I am. Like, make up some fake shit. I could use all the facts that I know to, you know what I'm saying, to stand on it. And, you know, that shit just be crazy. Somebody be having to say it, bro, and I just feel like I'm cut enough to do it.
Well appreciated, man. The knowledge needs to be given, man.
It can be done, bro.
OGs, they miss out a lot. Women's standpoint.
Yeah.
We do. We miss out a lot.
Oh yeah, because a lot of people, they hate the new truth. They hate the truth. Really.
Yeah, that's true, man. People rather making like dope lies in their head versus deal with the truth. When once you get that raw pain from the truth, you can build off that shit and correct it, fix it, anything. That's the hardest thing. You could fake a long time not telling yourself the truth, bruh. Or you could just rip the Band-Aid off, deal with that thing, get that shit right, and then build even more solid. Like when shit callous over, when shit scab up, it'd be harder than what it was before.
But yeah, the inspiration is more authentic when it's your truth rather than you just faking it for likes and stuff like that. You reach more people when you're authentic.
You rather somebody be truthful or lie and tell you what make you feel good.
You can kind of tell sometimes. It's like, okay, they just kind of acting.
Well, that lie put you at a standpoint with someone when you first meet them.
And it always bites you in your ass. There's no way that a lie ain't gonna come back and fuck you up some kind of way. It's just no way. Like, no matter how extravagant you build this shit, it's gonna come to a point to where it's gonna rip all that shit away because all that shit is fake. Right. You know what I'm saying? And
oh yeah, you can't fake it but so long.
But then that boil over to, at the end of the day, man, you got to just worry about your own path, your own lane. Like, you can't be sometimes. I mean, you could state certain shit but not really be with it because it's the truth. That's what we saying is the truth. But we still got to be focusing on our, because it don't matter if this dude want to fake it till we make it, or I want to, you know what I mean? That shit don't got nothing to do with me when it boils down. I'm going to say that ain't what it is. I'm going to use my energy and see the direct difference. So I got to kind of, you know what I'm saying, call that shit out to be like, oh, nah, bro, I'm doing the exact opposite and look where I am.
Right.
You know how you people say that shit like, oh, anybody could do it because you did it. That shit be true, but it don't be true, bro, because you ain't going to have the same opportunities. You don't have the same mind frame, none of that shit. Yeah, you could have a success, came from scratch story like mine, but it won't be the same way. Right. Like, nobody I know fuck with cars. I was not fucking with cars. I was the type of motherfucker that had multiple cars, but it was always somebody else working on them. So I went through shit, old Chevys that the transmission blew. So next time I knew this was learning through life.
Believe it or not, right now, a kid will look at you now and say, they'll think you're a rapper.
See what I mean? That's crazy, bro. And because you can attain the same type shit when that business right. All them times at the beginning when it was pay the bills, I learned from having an apartment at a young age that you don't pay them bills, you get kicked out. Right. You know what I'm saying? So when I got in this position, it was almost like it was like a fumble, like the ball dropped, everybody ran off from that shit, and I picked it up and ended up making something out of something that was already established to be this way from learning from my past mistakes, knowing no matter what, I had to pay them bills, bro.
Gotta pay the bills.
As long as I gave myself a chance to stay open, I knew the universe would manifest and move the pieces, would bring me another mechanic in. This, and I just handled the business right. Make sure a motherfucker don't never feel cheated. You feel like you winning some shit because you are, because you know, I know the market and the way I'm charging is you couldn't go nowhere else cheaper. I prided myself in doing that, still getting to work. It's so much money that all of the profit, I was being supposed to have multi. Nah, serious. I mean, you know.
I don't even know which one.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've been, you know, I mean, just literally knowing the business and everything. Like, an axle you paid $100 for, and that shit say you can mark up to $700, bro. That shit was fucking me up. Like, I can't charge this person that go to work there. And that one made me a weak drug dealer, to be honest. I felt so sorry for motherfuckers that wasn't for me. So when I was in prison, I gave most of the dope away than I sold. And I could be honest and say that shit because my heart, they was killing me with them stories, man. Yeah. I felt so fucked up, even though I came from a pops that would smoke crack our whole lives for you know what I'm saying? I know exactly how that shit was. My heart was so pure and tender to that shit. I still was going for it. You know what I mean? So when I was in prison, I was like, I just wanted something that was close to the game, but I wasn't fucking hurting nobody or taking that from that, still taking advantage from a person. Even though they coming to you, you still taking advantage of a weakness and you building a life or whatever you got going on off of pure weakness or somebody else's weakness. And that's the game. Ain't nothing wrong with that shit because you ain't putting a gun to their head and telling them to do it, but you kind of enabling that shit. Right. And that's how you amassing your fortune by somebody else's demise. And I ain't want to do that. And the game is exactly what I ask for every day, whether I wake up and open that motherfucker up, that shit can make $1,000, $10,000, $0. Every day is the same thing. You go up with the same intensity. You know what I mean? The same whole mind frame is swim or drown. So
you do have boys. How old are your boys? Do you incorporate them in their minds at all? Or
for sure. That's the craziest part.
Hands-on with it.
Because I got an 18-year-old son. He in the 12th grade now, and he watched me. I was a single dad for like 7 years. He ended up moving with me at the time he was supposed to. 13, 14, he ended up moving with me because I'm his dad. He needed to see how to be a man through me.
Exactly.
I'm his mom, everything great with her. She got great careers and everything, but it was my time. You had him while I was in prison, you know what I mean? And for his first 7 years, it was my turn, you know what I mean? I wanted to raise my son a certain kind of way. Sort of like Furious off of Boys in the Hood, man.
Shout
I was
out
on
to
that
her
type
for allowing that to happen because a lot of females wouldn't
try to buck or try to make it this, that, and the third, and she definitely, you know what I'm saying? She felt the same exact way, and that's the dopest shit in the world.
That's
so he seen me build this business from nothing, but he is Sagittarius. He laid back. He don't ask for shit. I got the best son in the world. He don't ask for nothing. But he don't have to ask me. I'm one of them type fathers. Like, I know what's up. Like, I know. I basically gave him the life that I wanted as a teenager anyway. Right. That was one of my main things. So that alone, and you being this great guy, and you ain't with no shit. You know what I'm saying? You just. But all that shit changed. He got a little older, got him a girlfriend, got that car. Now I barely see him. So when you ask about him, he is definitely into mine. That shit is for my sons, for real. And I know that's what I'm doing. I'm just keeping this shit strong to where whether they don't want to do it or not, it'll be worth some money. And they'll be able to do what they want to do with the bread. Word. So I'm going to put in that work type now. He got a job, but all his friends work at Chick-fil-A and this, that, and the third. So it's so crazy because when you from the hood, you always look at the suburbs. You always look at like what another motherfucker got, but want to be different. Right. Like you let hood people out talk you and thinking that that's a problem that you came from good parents or you in a good situation. So he don't want to work for me, bro. He don't. Right. It's the craziest shit in the world. And the way I pay him versus the jobs, I respect him 100% because he want to do his own thing, this, that, and the third. Right. But I'm trying to teach him that you can have all that ambition and want to be your own man, but still use help to get where you want to go. Like, what the hell? Like, that just make perfect sense. Yeah,
it's because it's glorified to get it out the mud, and it's like, if you don't have to.
Yeah, like that, I don't know what made that. Like, we got to get out the mud because that's what we had to do. That's what you want to do. You want to be born.
There was no choice.
You want to be born to what shit was already running, and you just live this dope-ass life, and you just handle the business. Like, you know what I mean? So he still work. He do his own thing, but he could come to the shop anytime he want. Anytime he work for me, he get paid the same day. Yeah. So as long as he ain't trying to fake sell weed or no type of drugs type shit, he know he can make money. He know he can make that shit instant, and he work his regular job. So he great. He doing good as far as him. My 3-year-old son, he think he run a joint. That's the life that I breathe to him. He 3 years old, and now when he there, I make him feel like that's his shit. I speak that shit into existence. You the boss. All my workers and everything, they fuck with him because he is a abnormal 3-year-old. He's extremely intelligent. You know what I'm saying? So they fuck with him. So I know now you put that shit in him as a kid. Yep. His name King Kari. Like we put the king in front. Like nobody put the king in front of you because you king. You know what I'm saying? He know that shit. He walk with that swag. So as long as I keep my shit together, he definitely gonna grow up, be strong. He might take over it, but it don't even matter because when you gone, you gone. Right. No matter what you amass. That shit over with. You know what I mean? The kids gonna want to do what they want to do with it. Anybody that stood
like teach them from a young age with the, it's crazy how we tend to dumb them down, but kids are smart.
Super smart.
And sometimes you can talk them and let them know even about just manifestation things early in childhood where it's like you have to believe in yourself.
I wouldn't say so.
I would because every morning when I used to take my son to school, affirmations every morning. Yeah. Who are you? He says, I am Kenai Mark Kemp. What are you? He says, I'm brave, I'm smart, I'm creative. You have to instill that into themselves early so that nobody can come and tell them you're not smart, you're not this. He already knows he is. Yeah, you know, so you got to let them know they are before somebody tells them. I told
my daughter she pretty. She still want to got a boyfriend.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But you ain't got to worry about that as long as you letting her know how he supposed to treat her.
That's what I do for every holiday. Exactly. I do for my wife. I do for my daughter. Just like the queen.
Just to showing them, man. Just so it's normal. Even when it get to the point when they don't say thank you no more, because that's how it should be. That shit normal. You should be getting that shit.
Exactly.
Right. That's a fact. Man.
My daughter in college. She go to Clemson. My oldest daughter. my first actually biological born. This is her first year in Clemson. She always been a brainiac. I'm not a person that's big on school because I feel like life information is how you live. That shit that we learn in school, you don't even use in real life for real. You really don't. Right. That ain't how you like learn to live life. Like it's about living life. But she always, certain people be designed to do certain things. She always made an honor roll, always was top of her class. So that's kind of in accordance of who she is under the stars. So she going to Clemson and she doing real good. I'm definitely proud about that. Then I got my son that's 12 in the 12th grade. We gonna go in the trucking business since we already in there. We gonna go that trucking route with him, get him a CDL, and my goal is to get him rich by the time he turns 25 to show him that he can be an owner and run his own business and this and the third, and then just raise my baby boy up.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. So, let everybody know how to find you, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Tell them about the businesses when they're in Charlotte, when you got to drop that call.
Man, even if you in Columbia, man, anything you need done to a car, man, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to get that joint fixed. Only thing we don't do is body work. We do everything else from engines, transmissions, brakes. Charlotte, literally, it's the shop literally like an hour and 15 minutes from Columbia.
I was going to say, where we at? Because my transmission slipped.
See what I mean? We get that bad boy fixed. You going to save enough money that you, even if you had to get it towed, man, we going to get you right. My whole goal, like I said, there's just so much bread into it. You can help people and still make money. So,
So where can what's your online, where can we find you at?
I got a Facebook page for it. It's Intermine Auto. Got to make a Instagram page, man. Everything that I really built my whole business off was word of mouth. That's the craziest part about it. This is why Charlotte is a great city to anybody thinking to relocate. Okay. It's like a baby Atlanta as far as it's not as big, it's not as established. So if you got any kind of emotion or business about yourself, you got a place to where you can come where ain't nobody from there. So nobody got that kind of advantage like how a small town would. And you can grow with the actual city. It's like 180 families move to Charlotte a week. So it's just growing daily, you know what I mean? But if you
city in America.
Man, I'm telling you, if you could figure out something and just jump in the race and build your shit along with the city building up, you will be good for a long time. We already know that once you leave Columbia, you got so much shit instilled in you. You go anywhere else, you're going to be successful.
Let go. No kick.
Is a no cut, don't put the city out. They got me in my zone.